to Psychos and Sociopaths. Today we're going to go over the Amazon Review Killer. Well, that's where it pops up whenever you look for stuff.
Yeah.
Disturbing case of the Amazon, but his name is Todd. How do you pronounce his last name? Todd Christopher
Kohlhepp?
Kohlhepp.
I'm going to say Kohlhepp.
Okay.
Before we get started, I had an interesting phone conversation.
Let's do that on the What the Hell episode.
Okay, yeah, all right, not a problem. Yeah, we can do that.
Because I don't want to dark stuff and everything. Yeah, I'm thinking of the guy, and I'm excited with you, and hopefully we can get him on. But anyways, this is a strange case because so far he's pleaded guilty to 7 counts of murder, 2 counts of kidnapping, and 1 count of criminal sexual assault, which is the only reason why it's only 1, because there's only 1 that was alive to help prosecute. But there's actually a YouTube video of that if you want to look at that, but it goes in details of his arrest and everything. We'll go over that today too.
Yeah. When you brought this up, I was like,
just the name itself.
Yeah, just like it gets you hooked. And
what's really sad is, well, I listened to Time Suck. I listened to a bunch of other serial killer stuff too, and I don't know why. I looked it up. I had to look it up, and I messaged Dan Cummings, and I was like, "Hey, Dan, I hate to do this to you, but did you go? We're about to go over this guy. Did y'all do this guy already?" And he looked at it. He was like, No, I haven't. I was like, are you sure? Because I remember hearing a lot about this. It's like, I don't know who you are, and stop talking to me. But no, we haven't done this guy before. So I'm banned from Dan Cummings stuff. So
okay.
I still like him as a comedian. I'll still watch his stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's like
don't look me in the eyes. I'm a celebrity.
No, it's like going on Twitter, right? And J.K. Rowling had gone off about socialism is the future, socialism is the way. And I couldn't help myself. I was just like, that's funny coming from somebody who used capitalism to sell the stories that she wrote her children for nighttime.
Yeah.
And you made millions off of it.
Billions,
yeah, actually. I was, And I was like, but you do you. And then she blocked me. I got blocked by J.K. Rowling on Twitter. I was pretty proud of that.
Yeah, it's really sad when you put out the truth and everything like that, and they're like, "Oh,
somebody called me on my bullshit."
Yeah,
but because Craigslist isn't a thing so much anymore. I mean, it is, but you remember like back when they had the personals?
Yeah. You know why they got rid of that, right?
I know that some women got it. Yeah, it's basically what it was. But there were some people that actually got raped over it.
Bring it back up.
Yeah, so there were some people that actually got raped on that.
Yeah,
from those personals.
Dude, this is something I remember. It was back I think 2006, and this guy, I think it was from Wichita Falls, or he was from Dallas. I think he was from Dallas.
Yeah.
He answered the Craigslist, came down, and literally he didn't get what he wanted, so he forced himself on this chick, and she had black eyes because he kept on trying to get her to give him head.
God.
And I was like, what's really sad is, I know that's painful.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've actually blackened a chick's eyes, but I didn't force it or anything like that.
I thought you were going to go with the whole giving head was painful, but
no. She got a black eye and her head hit my dick.
Oh.
Well, I had this.
That's like when you pull out and then you.
Okay.
Yeah.
What happened? In the barracks, we have you're allowed to have to bring up your bed in the Air Force barracks basically using the bedpost from another bed, and you jack it up so you can keep your deployment stuff, so you can fasten your getting out. Well, I did this, and I kept it underneath there, check it every month, like I'm supposed to. Well, the chick I was dating at the time was trying to get it up, and she was probably about 5 foot, and this thing is probably around about 5 foot. It was about 5 foot. So she tried to jump up onto the bed, and I was already ready, and she jumped up, she slips, head right on my head, mid-head, and it was...
She headbutted you, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and she had a black eye.
This is further proof.
And we couldn't explain it to anybody else.
This is further proof that no story that starts with the words "in the barracks" is ever going to be a bad story.
It never is.
Never.
It's like my brother-in-law was telling a story one time, and he was telling a story about how one of his crewmates had to explain why he didn't have his dog tags on him.
Oh, God.
And the explanation was he was watching one of those videos to where there was the chick was getting choked.
So he was choking himself with his dog tags?
And he came and flew the dog tags. And it's somewhere in the room, and he couldn't find them. And he manned up and told his lieutenant what exactly happened.
You know, I would pay money. I would pay money to be in that room. I want to see. I want to see that lieutenant's face. I mean, because you go from this, like, I can imagine this, right? So we'll get to our killer here in just a second, but I can see this, okay, playing out, right? The lieutenant's face goes from, like, utter rage, like, what the fuck is your problem, to bewilderment, to
it's the same
not
thing.
Sure if he needs to be proud of or embarrassed.
It's the same thing if you find a S&M magazine underneath your kid's bed. I mean, you can't really spank them after that.
Right, exactly. Because spanking is no longer a punishment.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Dad, did you find those magazines?
No, that's a conversation. There was a meme that went out about that, right? Where, like, the mom goes, look what I found under your son's bed. Like, well, I'm not going to whoop his ass for it.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Someone was like, what's the weirdest thing that a kid could do to you that you don't know what happened? Well, there's two of them. One guy told me, and one of them was that, and I did it over the radio. He goes like, "Oh man, that's messed up." I was like, "No, it gets worse. What happens if your stepson is watching stepdad and stepson porn?"
Moving on.
Yeah, it's one of those.
So Ted Kohlhepp.
Yeah.
Born March 7th, 1971. That was a sloppy segue, but hey, we're gonna go with it.
Yeah.
Born in Florida, raised in South Carolina and Georgia. Parents were divorced when he was 2 years old. His mother got custody and married another man in the following year. Later psychological reports found that Kohlhepp had an unhealthy relationship with his stepfather. That was actually a great segue. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it.
I read up on this one.
Gotcha. Okay. In office, see, look at you, man. It just you gave the air. You gave the appearance that was completely spontaneous, but yet you were deviously planning ahead. I can't even be mad. I'm actually quite impressed.
Well, I watched the video on this one and I read up on it because it was kind of weird. And another thing that got me weirded out on it was he was actually convicted of it.
Yeah.
Twice.
Right.
At least kidnapping. It was a kidnapping of a 14-year-old girl in Tampa, Arizona. And he basically threatened her with a 22-hour revolver and brought her to home, tied her up, shut her mouth, and raped her. And this just goes to show that we've had this conversation before on people like this. Someone like that's a sexual assaulter, they're going to repeat.
Yeah, I mean, there's just
tap it a little bit towards you. There we go.
Okay. Ooh, hey, look at me. But I mean, he wanted to go live with his biological dad. He hadn't seen him 8 years, and you know, I guess the stepfather was just like, yeah, no, not so much. But he was described as a troublesome kid. Nursery school, he was known to be aggressive towards other children and would destroy their property. This stereotypical kid stuff. Age 9, he started undergoing counseling. Described as being explosive and preoccupied with sexual content. So, yeah, okay. Unhealthy relationships with your step parents. Yeah. So as long as we're not talking about somebody getting stuck in the dryer, I guess we're okay.
Well, it's like the same case of the murder van guy.
Yeah.
And I mean, his brothers were sexually assaulted, and they never did anything. It's just some people are wired differently.
Okay, so I already tagged this guy as the ship pump / cockwomble here, but he displayed cruelty to animals, shooting a dog with a BB gun and killing a goldfish with Clorox bleach. I mean, come on, man.
That's
modern
diabolical.
psychology, right? Yeah, modern psychology. Cruelty to animals is thought by many academics to be a common trait of the young psychopathic
It's one of those
individual.
things. It's blah blah blah. You know the rep. He's stereotypical.
Yeah.
He's a madman.
Yeah. November 25th of '86, 15-year-old Kohlhepp kidnapped a 14-year-old girl in Tempe, Arizona. He threatened her with a .22 caliber revolver, like you said. He was charged with kidnapping, sexual assault, and committing a dangerous crime against children. As a 15-year-old, though? Okay. In '87, he pled guilty to the kidnapping charge, and the other charges were dropped. His sentence was 15 years as a registered sex offender.
Wait a minute. The sexual assault was dropped?
And see, that's what I don't get. And see, this is where, like a little bit of inconsistency with the reporting here, because he pled guilty to the kidnapping charge, but it says the other charges were dropped, but he still had to register as a sex offender. I don't quite understand how that works, but
I think the person that wrote this article on this, I mean, it's hit and miss on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Because when I was looking at the video and everything, he got prosecuted for rape.
Right. Which would make sense for the for the registry, but
yeah.
According to court records, he was diagnosed with a borderline personality disorder and had an IQ of 118, which was considered above average. So I mean, he was intelligent, but methodical. I guess he gets bored.
Well, okay. Most people that have IQs, I get bored too, but I don't do weird shit like that. I come up with weird thoughts,
right,
but I don't go out with them, and I feel anybody that actually does is a complete ass. But going off that, in August 2001, he was released from prison, serving 14 years, moved to South Carolina, where his mother was living during his imprisonment. He attended and graduated from Central Arizona College with a bachelor degree in computer science.
Right.
From 2002 to 2003, he worked as a graphic designer for a company in Spartanburg. He began studying Greenville Technical College in 2003. We'll just get over this. He was very well put together to the point where he got a really good education. We'll just jump a little bit ahead on this because it's just filler, and I hate filler. I even hate filler episodes for TV shows.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, it's the end of sweep season, so we're just going to throw this at you. But, I mean...
He also watched pornographic videos when he was at work. He frequented the Waffle Hall Restaurant and Roebuck. I mean, it's just, we'll get to the murders. Now, before this actual case, he did pick up, they said there were heroin addicts, from what I gathered, from one of the documentary videos.
Yeah. Let me see here. And it goes from kidnapping to murder. There we go. My mouth works. Yes, yay. November 6th of 2003. Apparently there's bugs in the system. Anyway, a customer found 4 people shot to death inside of a Superbike Motorsports. It's a motorcycle shop in Chesney. The victims were identified as the owner, Scott Ponder, 30, service manager Brian Lucas, 30, mechanic Chris Sherbert, 26, and bookkeeper Beverly Guy, 52, who was Ponder's mom. All 4 died from multiple gunshot wounds before Kohlhepp confessed to the shootings in 2016. Investigators believed that the gunman, armed with a pistol, entered the shop from the back and killed Sherbert as he worked. He then killed Guy in the middle of the showroom, Lucas in the main doorway, and Ponder in the parking lot. According to Ponder's wife, Kohlhepp was a disgruntled customer who had been in the shop several times. According to Kohlhepp's mom, he attempted to return a motorcycle there, but the employees laughed at him, would not return the money he had paid for the bike, and embarrassed him for not knowing how to ride one. That is like the ultimate power move for a Karen right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. August 31st of
my thing on that, though, is that it's the reason why I'm not, like, very aggressive to people that are strangers.
Right.
Because you don't know when they're going to snap. That was one thing in working in corrections you learn a lot of is don't taunt people.
Yeah.
Because people are people. And sometimes that bad day, if they had a really, really bad day, like that one day that both of us had, and someone just snapped on us, yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't have ended well. It wouldn't have ended in physical violence, but it might have ended in the unemployment line. But yeah, I get totally what you're saying.
Yeah.
August 31st of 2016, Kayla Brown, 30 years old, and her boyfriend Charles David Carver, who was 32, went missing after they went to go clean Kohlhepp's residence. Carver was later found dead of multiple gunshots on Kohlhepp's property. Interest in the disappearance of Brown and Carver increased as a result of posts on Carver's Facebook.
Now, that was the Johnny and Megan? It was the 2 before. The Johnny and Megan Coxie? Mm-hmm. I think that's what it is. Is it Coxie? C-O-X-I-E? Coxie?
Yeah.
Anyways, Johnny and Megan Coxie. The reason why there's a difference in the dates on these, one died in December 19th, the other one died in December 25th and 26th. Now, the reason why there's a difference, they were heroin addicts. He did the same thing that he did to the Brown, Kayla Brown and Charles Carver. He picked them up, said, "Hey, I got a job for you. I'll pay you." They came in. He kidnapped both of them, killed Johnny in front of Megan first, and then after that, he put her in a. This is just going on speculation of what happened with the Kayla Brown and Charles Carver. Mm-hmm. Put Megan into a Connex box and continued raping and doing all kinds of whatever deplorable stuff to her, and then killed her.
Yeah.
Jump ahead now to the Kayla Brown, who was the survivor, and the Charles David Carver. Same thing. They came in, they were needing money, and he said, "Hey, you can clean my house." And what had happened is he took Charles out with Kayla, shot Charles in the head, buried him, telling Kayla, "Hey, they're never going to find the body, blah, blah, blah." I think he even said that he was a ex-CIA agent. Mm-hmm. And for the dates are really kind of weird on this, only because that's the date that they found and arrested him, August 31st, 2016. And the reasoning for that, though, it's kind of weird, because he was killed like a couple of weeks beforehand.
Right.
And this is going off the couple of videos and a couple of other stuff that I saw, and it's not really on here. And we'll get to the reason why he's called the Amazon review killer, but this is they caught him. Finally found Kayla in a Connex box, barely enough to eat. And the way that she described it was, at any point in time that he wanted sexual favors, it was basically that bait thing. Hey, I'll feed you, but first you got to give me a little something, something.
Yeah.
It was a big control factor, and he even stated that he didn't feel that he was raping her because she consented. Just because you consent to a fucking sandwich doesn't mean you consent. That's still rape.
Yeah.
It's like the ideology of this is he's paying for sex, and that's the bad thing about this. And they found Kayla. The cops that actually arrived had to assure her, he's like, hey, we're here to help you. We're here to help you. And as soon as she saw the cops, verbatim, as soon as she saw the cops, she went out and described everything. She's an amazing woman right there.
Yeah. Because
she had everything memorized, what she's supposed to say and what she needed to say. And she went out and was like, hey, it was basically one of those things, good thing they caught it on camera because they would have to write all this stuff down. She just nonstop. It was her, I guess it was her, she knew she was going to get released, and bam, this is all that's happened.
Yeah.
Here you go. I don't want to repeat this. Get it on camera, get it on something, boom, it's there. Brave woman.
Yeah.
Basically, what happened after that, the cops finally went to him. It's like, hey, fess up. Well, we found Kayla. So, he's like, I don't know who Kayla is. It's like, no. Well, she knows you, and she's describing everything, and she was already caught up in a Connex box, so we're going to go with it. And then they arrest him. It took forever for him to cop up for those murders and the kidnapping and the raping. And what was really sad about the whole thing is he did not believe he was raping her because the whole, hey, I'm paying for it. And finally, after, I think this is the case, I'm not really sure, because going over like serial killers a lot, and sometimes I mix it up, but he literally said, it's like, hey, I'll cop to this if you get money into my mom and everything like that.
Right.
And we'll settle everything. But go on with the Amazon stuff.
Yeah. Let me see here.
Shortly following Coppola's arrest, authorities in Spartanburg County discovered another seemingly joking product reviews for various items such as a padlock, shovel, taser, gun accessories on retail website Amazon.com, written by user simply as me. One review about a padlock stated, solid lock, have 5 on a shipping container, won't stop them, but sure will slow them down till they are too old to care.
Yeah, see, and that's kind of a cryptic kind of a thing, like, you're keeping people out, not us in.
Well, the cops, when they were opening up the padlocks, or opening up the Connex box and everything like that, they went with grinders, and then they had it took them a while to get the Connex box open.
Wow.
They videotaped all of it. All of it's if you're interested, if you're one of the few people that are actually interested in this type of stuff, I'll post
this dude. Okay, so like, holy crap! An account linked to him left a review for a shovel with a folding handle. Keep in car for when you have to hide the bodies and you left a full-size shovel at home.
Oh God!
Like, seriously?
I mean, we have some dark humor. And this is dark humor that is true. And I don't keep an e-tool in my car for that. I keep an e-tool because I actually had to fight a fire.
Right. If you're going to keep a baseball bat in your car, do your lawyer a favor and keep a ball and a glove with it.
Yeah.
You know. But let me see here. Quote, haven't stabbed anyone yet. He allegedly wrote about a knife being sold on Amazon. When I do it, it'll be with a quality tool like this. Like, what? You know, that's kind of that's kind of fucky. In another posting under the pseudonym Me, Kohlhepp, he goes on about master brand padlocks. Or when they searched his property for a missing woman, found her alive but chained like a dog to a metal storage container. Her slain boyfriend was later discovered in a shallow grave nearby. I mean, just, it's like, wow. They were able to confirm that he wrote the Amazon reviews, but many of them appeared in a wish list in his personal account and showed similarities to his alleged victims. The reviews, both old and new, contained references to a tactical pouch or a shoulder pouch, both of which are used to carry ammunition. So, I mean, the stuff that's out there, it's just, I love like I said, it's kind of hit and miss.
Have you ever read a lot of the, because even Amazon, you can look them up on Amazon funny reviews.
Yeah.
And there's some funny ones, like
they're like the sugar-free gummy bear reviews. Though, dude, you cannot read those with a straight face.
No, even better. Look up the Taser brass knuckles.
Okay, hold on.
I'll
no, I'm doing it now.
We'll both do it because I love this freaking thing. Sorry if you don't hear us.
Taser brass knuckles. I just see. Okay, here we go. No, wait. Those are motorcycle gloves. There's an iPhone or a cell phone taser case.
Yeah. Okay.
What?
Here's a 4-star review made in 2014. 2012. I'll try to get a snapshot of it and put it up right here. I purchased this after I was confronted by some punks demanding that I hand over my money. I'm a relatively fit guy, but I was no match for them. That is when I realized that I needed to protect myself. The day after I bought this product, I went to the very same Walmart parking lot when I was first mugged. I approached the group of hooligans standing outside the entrance, concealing my secret weapon. I coolly asked, "Remember me?" One of them looked up and said, "Have you come back to buy some more Thin Mints or Smallies? My Girl Scout troop needs to raise more money." I replied with, "You're not taking my money this time." "But sir, they're delicious," she said. I whip out the knuckle blaster stun gun hand and shouted, "Wrong move, bitch."
Wow.
The 5 Girl Scouts ran away screaming.
Oh, God.
As I pounded my chest in victory, I accidentally acted the stun gun and applied 950,000 volts to my right nipple. I woke up 4 hours later to the sound of heavy footsteps. Hold on. This is oh God. Every time I read this, I tear up because I'm laughing so hard. Those Girl Scouts had brought their fathers, but I was ready. I lunged to the largest one with a cry of "Raggle Fraggle," hit him in the stomach. He hit the ground harder than a fat kid at a jungle gym. As the other began to circle around me, I changed techniques, holding both hands in tight fist. I raised my arms to my side and instantly helicopter spin. They all backed off, fearing my impressive RPMs. After a while, I started getting dizzy, and one of the fathers decided to try to tackle me. As he ran to stood there, dazed and gizzy. Time was really slow. Then I remember I had eaten lunch at Chipotle, and the burrito was fighting its way back to my stomach. I turned towards my enemy and launched a stream of projectile vomit at him, knocking him to the ground. Then I started singing, "Let the bodies hit the floor, let the bodies hit the floor, let the bodies hit the floor." I grabbed my I grabbed my knuckle buster stun gun and shoved it in my mouth, running head first to my foes, electrocuting them with my teeth. Eventually, they were all unconscious, and I walked home victoriously.
This is one of my favorite sugar-free gummy bear reviews. It's titled, "See You in Hell, Haribo Sugar-Free Gummy Bears." This was written June 5th of 2015. It was my last class of the semester, and the final exam was worth 30% of our grade. After a late night study session, I felt confident, but I had to decide between sleeping in or cooking breakfast. My eyelids showed sleep. My stomach later regretted this decision, and after several uncomfortable stomach growls, I finally decided to make a quick stop by the campus bookstore to grab a snack before my test. Since the semester was ending and everyone was going home for the summer, a lot of items were on sale, including the snacks and candy that they kept up front. Being in the hungry state that I was in, I felt it only logical to pick up the largest yet least expensive candy in order to get more bang for my buck. And there they sat. 2 bags of Haribo sugar-free gummy bears. Buy one, get one free. What a deal, I thought naively. I would eat 1 bag before my test and 1 bag afterwards. As I walked to class, I gleefully chewed on those abominable little bastards, unaware of the utter mayhem that they would soon unleash upon my poor anus. I sat down at my desk as the professor informed us that, due to issues with cheating in the past, restroom breaks would be prohibited until the completion of the exam. "I'll give you 10 minutes to use the restroom now. This is your last chance. Any takers?"
Side note on this, if you're watching the YouTube video, you see me holding my hand, and I'm doing this for the audience that is listening on Spotify and Apple. I'm holding my hand only to stop from laughing because I know what's coming next. But go on.
The demon bears hadn't released their unholy necromancy upon my stomach yet, so in my moment of ignorant foolishness, I remained seated until still munching on those miniature bear-shaped bombs. After the students wise enough to take the professor's offer had returned, the professor handed out the test. I was 6 questions in when it happened. It started subtly at first, almost like a slight tingling sensation in my lower abdomen. I thought nothing of it, assuming my intestines were just doing their thing. Little did I know that my intestines were trying desperately to warn me of the horror that was on the horizon. By question 9 it happened again, but this time it was followed by a sharp pain, as if those infernal hellions had orchestrated an attack upon my colon. I fought to contain the groan and tried to escape my lips.
I'm literally thinking that the gummy bears are fighting in the colon.
Yeah. It was at this point I began to panic. Something was going horribly wrong, and I needed to get through this test before it got any worse. By question 14, my worst fear was upon me. The Satan bear's burning hot liquidy dark magic crashed against my anal sphincter like a tidal wave.
Yeah.
I was able to close the hatch just in time, but those relentless toxic bears beating against it like orcs breaking down the doors of Helm's Deep. I knew I wouldn't be able to do so much as shift in my seat without risking a breach. I kept fighting through the exam, clenching my cheeks with all my might. Beads of sweat began rolling down my neck. Suddenly, a loud, hot, gurgling war cry came from my belly, and the entire class lifted their heads. At this point, nothing mattered except expelling this ungodly presence from my bowels. With 15 questions left, I promptly wrote C for every answer and ran out of the classroom. My professor yelled something, but I was too preoccupied with the volcanic eruption that needed to take place before I could find sweet relief. I burst into the restroom like the Kool-Aid man, and behold, the handicapped stall was empty. Sun rays from the adjacent window shone upon it as if it were a gift from God himself. It took less than 0.5 seconds to undo my belt buckle, pull down my pants, and finally relax my weary buttocks upon the toilet seat. It took absolutely no effort to expel this demon. Almost immediately, the floodgates of hell were opened, and the damned liquefied souls of an entire bag's worth of gummy bears cried as they burned through my sphincter and into the watery abyss below. I'd never felt such simultaneous relief and anguish in my life. After more than 30 minutes of this, I immediately went home, dug a hole in my backyard, and burned the remaining bag of gummy bears. I leave with this. Do not, I repeat, do not eat these spawns of Satan. Not only did they cause me to fail my final test, but the anguish I experienced is something I wouldn't wish upon anyone, not even my worst enemy. The only place these godforsaken hell bears belong are buried deep below the earth's surface.
Oh, that's a good one too.
And there's another one out there. I can't ever find it. Where a guy, he bought one at the sundry shop at the airport terminal.
Uh huh.
And he's 30,000 feet in the air, and it hits him. Right. So this dude, this dude is expelling everything he's eaten since 15 at 30,000 feet, and the smell escaped the bathroom door.
And on that note, Maria, I hope you're on the side of the road where you're not gonna swerve in and out of traffic like you did last time you found something funny on our show.
We did get an update. She finally got her Spotify to update, so she's able to listen to the newer episodes, and I believe she's going to be home for about a week because her truck is in the shop. She was having fuel delivery issues.
That happens.
Yeah,
going back and forth for a lot of them.
Oh well, I mean, she said it only happened under load, so but still, I mean, with the occupation that she has chosen, that's not conducive to a good time. So
no,
but we're glad that she's home safe right now, at least for the week, and she'll be able to relax, stretch out on the couch or maybe the hammock in the backyard if she's got one, and laugh her ass off until her heart's content.
Oh, thank God.
Now, if she falls out of said hammock, we here at Angry Meat Production assume no responsibility for the actions, involuntary or voluntary, of the listening audience.
And videotape that shit. I want to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. Video pics or it didn't happen.
I want to get something like that and just put it up on our homepage.
Right.
That'd be freaking hilarious. But that's pretty much. I mean, he got convicted. And
that was an amazing break.
Right? That was a funny break. He did get convicted, and he even told his mother asked, was like, "How many people have you killed?" And he replied, "You don't have enough fingers." That's pretty messed up. But he's still in prison. As of August 2018, he has yet given the authorities the details. And since he admitted there was at least two other murders, but he pleaded guilty for 7 counts of murder, 2 counts of kidnapping, 1 count of criminal sexual assault, and was sentenced to 7 consecutive life sentences, which, in all honesty, he should have been found out what a couple of 100,000 amps can do to your body.
Yeah. But, yeah. I don't know. Part of me is like, we need to keep some of these people alive long enough to kind of like learn. But the other part of me is like, I don't want to foot the bill to feed their oxygen addiction. So
yeah, it's just ridiculous on some of these people that they're allowed to live with a lot. I'd still think. And I understand the legal reason why Charles Manson was let to live, because he technically didn't murder anybody, but he murdered through association.
Yeah.
People like that just... It was a cult. Charles Manson made a mini cult and didn't get that far, thank God. But that's it for this episode, everybody. Thank you for listening. And this is Psychos and Sociopaths. I'm David Dickham.
I'm Johnny Skelton.
Check us out on Facebook and give us a like. And I don't know if you can do that on Spotify, but
stay away from the gummy bears.
Oh yeah, the sugar-free gummy bears.
Yeah.
All right. Talk to you later, everybody.
Later.